This conference will now be recorded.
So, good morning, everybody. Thank you for participating in that high number. I see that still more people are connecting, but I would like to start now our webinar on how DIH projects can help fighting the COVID-induced crisis. And I must really say we are overwhelmed by the extraordinary interest in this webinar. And first of all, I want to thank Andrea Halmus for taking the initiative and the DNet team for organizing this event. Yeah, we still have new participants joining in, but let's have a look at what we have on our agenda. It's a very tight schedule, and today we want to collect ideas how DIHs can help better managing the crisis. This means also this is not a hackathon. This is an idea collection of the role that digital innovation hubs and also other organizations that support SMEs and public sector organizations can help. So what we want to do today, how will it work? This webinar is a starting point with hopefully a lot of inspiring ideas how digital innovation hubs can help to overcome the crisis. And we will split our webinar in two parts. The first hour will be on the needs of the SMEs and what we can do there. And the other hour, starting at 11, will be on the needs of the public sector organizations. And we put these two together because we think there are overlaps that complement each other very well, and therefore it makes sense to see what happens in both parts of this webinar. And as you have heard when you're already logged in at 10 o'clock, the ideas will be recorded. This whole webinar will be recorded and made available afterwards. Also the ideas we will ask you for and that you can post during this webinar. And then the next step will be until Friday. You can see what's on this idea board and choose a topic that you want to take the lead on maybe, or that you want to develop further together with other partners. I have mentioned here the DIHs. We are mainly addressing DIHs, but of course it's open to everyone who wants to have a role here in. So now let's start with our first part, the SMEs part. Here we want to develop ideas, tools, solutions, offerings, Sorry? So we want to have ideas, tools, solutions, offers, implementations, suggestions. What can help SMEs in the current situation? So especially how to deal with the organizational challenges, with also the economic challenges, financial challenges they have. So this is not so much how to fight the virus itself. This can be part of it, but this isn't the main point here. So we will start now with Gabor, who will give us an introduction on SMEs needs and also some examples what SMEs have done already and how we then can develop further on with the topics I have put on the slide here. We want further on then discuss what are additional needs, what can be done first to help SMEs to better manage business continuity, so digital tools that support them in their existing business. And we would also want to know how SMEs can use the changing environment as a chance for innovation, for new products, for new solutions. And here we can also have solutions to fight the virus, but not only to fight the virus, but also to react on the changing environment. So with all of this, we want that not only SMEs have help instantly, but also in the midterm. And with that, I've my 5 minutes already taken. I want now to hand over to Gabor. Please, Gabor, take over now.
Thank you, Matthias. My name is Gabor, and okay, let me check. I'm trying to share my screen now.
We can see your screen, Gabor.
So Gabor is from an Hungarian DIH, and I think the screen is up now.
Okay. Good morning. This is Gabor. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And I have shared my screen. And first of all, Matthias, thank you for the introduction and for the opportunity to share our experience here. I'm Gabor. I'm from Innomind Digital Innovation Hub. We are located in Hungary, in Budapest and Pécs, and we focus on digital innovation and on smart manufacturing, and currently working with approx 200 SMEs in multiple NUTS2 regions around Hungary. And in the recent weeks, we have seen an urgent and immediate demand for our services from the SME sector, and especially traditional SMEs approached us. Those SMEs knew our activities from the previous traditional DIH services portfolio, and now they came up with the current crisis situation, because they have seen that the stable environment they were used to work on in the recent years changed, and there are drastic changes. From the strategic planning, what they used to do are urgent solutions are needed, and those demands are now for new services, and especially from the traditional SMEs. So the 5 most typical questions, and they came to us, are how to switch to home office, what can we manage remotely, how to reorganize our people and people resources, how to redesign finances and manage the current cash flow issues, how to improve and accelerate sales and invoicing, and also how to readjust the organization in terms of processes, which processes should be kept, which processes should be modified. And of course, the last question they came about government supports. What are the current support? What is available for the different sectors? And I think that this situation has strengthened the need for digitization, and we are part of Cloud Factoring and DIH4CPS projects, and both of them are, I think, really good with the experiments to help SMEs to turn into a digital operation. And I think those are great examples what we need to spread now towards more and more companies. And I think just to introduce this brainstorming session and provide some inspiration, on our side, we see a need to go to the SMEs with some professional expertise to provide a quick assessment of the situation and analysis and an action plan. And basically, I call it to how to turn a traditional organization into an agile organization, because now everybody needs to be very agile. And a suggestion could be to provide a small fund to many SMEs throughout the DIH network to ensure a professional advisory and a professional support to design action plan, adjust towards the current situation, and define the digitization strategy both on the short and on the longer term. And I think that could be an immediate help for the traditional SMEs. On the other hand, we do see that innovative SMEs have really good chances, and I would like to just show two very quick examples. One is a company called Linistry, which have a zero queue product, which is turning the queues of the shops into a remote queuing service. And this is now used at multiple small shops, because they can eliminate the social interaction a lot with this. And there is another solution which might be more relevant for the second part of this discussion. This is a chatbot solution which can be rolled out remotely, and that could help to municipalities to keep relationship and communication with the most disadvantaged groups of the population. And it's a very easy to use solution, and this can be used by families and ensure an information distribution towards the citizens, a reliable information, because we do see that also not so much so lots of fake news are arising these days. And as my 5 minutes are over, just to conclude this, I think the most relevant part is the traditional SMEs, to provide them an immediate support to help reorganizing their activities and ensure a continuity of the business.
Yes, thank you very much, Gabor. This was a very practical example of the SME needs right now, but also what SMEs can develop on new ideas. Perfect. So the next part is now your part, describing the needs and that you see, and also the offerings that you maybe have already developed as a digital innovation hub. And therefore, how we want to do is I will now hand over to Xavier, who will explain the tool we will use and how we will go forward.
Okay, I will take the control, Lucy. Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Xavier Uriarte from Tecnalia, and I'm going to explain how you are going to contribute today. Okay, how you are going to participate. So we are going to use a tool named Idea Boards. Idea Boards is a virtual online tool. This is it's a board in the cloud where everyone can add ideas in the form of stickers, little stickers. I will provide you a link to the tool in the chat window. I'm going to do it just now. Let me try. I think it's here. Oh my God, I don't know if it works. Okay.
So
we don't hear you.
Yeah. Go ahead, Xavier. We don't hear.
where you can see a drop-down list where you can see the different sections of the board. And we will start with the first one, SME needs. It's very easy to add a new idea. You have to click just on this little plus icon, green icon. And when you do this, a little sticker like this one will appear, and there you can write your idea. Okay, my suggestion is that before writing your idea, you include the name of your organization or even your name into parentheses, because that's the way to follow who has given the idea. Okay. Okay. It's also possible to change the idea. This is once you have edited your idea, you can change it because maybe you want to add something, or maybe even that you want to remove it. To do that, you have to click on it, and a window like this one will open. Here you can edit your idea, or you can even, as you can see there in that trash icon there, you can remove the idea. But be careful, because, well, the system will ask you if you really want to remove the idea, okay? Well, how are we going to work today? We will devote the first 10 minutes of the brainstorming to explore, to focus on the needs of SMEs. And then the next 25 minutes will be split into two different time slots. One of 10 minutes and another one of 15 minutes. We will work in parallel two topics, business continuity and innovation support. Okay, and you will be able to work on one, on the first or on the second. Okay, anyway, I will give you more guidelines when we start to address this second part. But the first one is very easy. The first 10 minutes will be devoted to the needs of SMEs. Okay, it's because of that in the previous screen we have selected the section SME needs. Okay, I will be controlling the time, and I will ask you, as you are doing, to mute your microphones, and I will put on some music. Okay, and I will be telling you, when the time is left and when we are going to go to the second part of the session. Okay, so how are we going to write ideas? This is my suggestion. As I told you before, please put the name of your organization into parentheses and then your idea. If anyone wanted to add a comment to an idea that has been provided by other, just again, click on the idea and add your comment, always please with the name of your organization or the person who is adding that comment. Okay? Well, as Matthias has told you before, but I will tell you that after too, the tool will be active till next Friday. So you will have the possibility to work on it offline. Okay? So we can start with the first part of the brainstorming, that of SME needs. So I suggest you to go to the link I have written to you. Can you see it? Does everybody have the link? I can see the link. Okay, I'm going to put it again. I will write it several times, okay?
Yes,
so
it works.
If you can, okay, it works, fine. So then I suggest you to go to the first section, SME needs. From now on, we have 10 minutes to provide which are, from your point of view, the needs of SMEs. Try to read what others say in order not to repeat needs, okay? So come on, we can start just now, and I'm going to put some music. 5 minutes left.
For those who have just entered, the link to the idea board where you can enter your ideas is in the chat.
The ideas will be kept on the tool, and they can also be exported to Excel or PDF file. So we won't lose them. Don't worry for that. Three minutes left. I can see that there are a lot of ideas, a lot of needs. In this very moment, I'm seeing 54 needs. 55. Yeah, ideas will be processed further. Yes, curated. Yes, it's right. 1 minute left. Yes, we will be also grouping the ideas after, but not in this session because the tool does not allow to do that. It's quite a simple, it's very simple tool, but it doesn't allow to do that. Yeah. Yeah, the ideas will be published on the DIHsnet platform. And besides, they will be available through the tool till this Friday. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's still unprioritized. Yeah. Okay, okay, the time is over. So if you don't mind, let's go to the second part. Don't worry, because if there is any need left that you wanted to add and you haven't been able to, you will be able to work further on the tool because the link will remain active till Friday. Okay, so and besides, this way you will be able to read what has already been said by others and see if your idea is new or is a complement or a comment or an addition to another idea. Okay, so if you don't mind, let's go to the second part, as I told you before, of this brainstorming. The second part was about 25 minutes split into 2 time slots. One of them of 10 minutes could be devoted both to these, how to say, to these topics, the business continuity support and the business innovation support. You can start working in any of them, okay? So you could start working, my suggestion is to start working in one of them. Maybe you feel more comfortable in business continuity or more comfortable in business innovation. Well, devote those first minutes to the one you are more comfortable with. And then the second 15 minutes will be devoted to the other one. But this is just a suggestion. It's not mandatory. You can do it the way you think it's better. Okay, so let's start with the second part with this time slot of 10 minutes to provide ideas on these 2 sections. Okay, so the time starts now. Okay, come on.
Ma io pensavo ci fosse una presentazione. Non mi interessa, lasciamo così.
Sorry, could you mute your microphone, please? Well, I can see that most of you are working on business continuity, but we start having some ideas also on business innovation. Please, it's easier to follow up an idea if we have a reference to the person, to the organization who is providing the idea, okay? So please, if you were so kind to add the name of your organizations. Okay, 5 minutes left for the first time slot. "33 ideas on business continuity and 22 on business innovation, 23 now. Okay, I think business continuity is winning. 2 minutes left. One minute left. Okay, time is over. So let's go to the second time slot. And this time slot is quite important. And this is because I'm showing you this slide again. So what's the idea in this second time slot? Well, you have already provided ideas in the first time slot. Maybe some of you have provided ideas on the field of business innovation and others in the field of business continuity. Now, I would like you to change to the other topic, to the topic you haven't addressed. Maybe you have addressed both, but go to the other one, as I suggested in the beginning, and please start reading the ideas that have been provided by others. And if you have new ideas, of course, add them. But if your ideas can complement, can add something to the ideas already provided by others, please write them in the way you can see in the upper right corner. Okay, there you can see that, for example, myself, Tecnalia, added an idea. This is my first idea. And then someone from TNO wanted to add a comment. So after my idea, he added, I'm from TNO, and this is my comment for you. Okay, and it will be also interesting that if anyone is very interested in working on one idea that has been provided by someone, please add your contact. Okay, so let's go to the second part. It's going to be a kind of brainwriting. So please read the ideas of others and then work on them or add yours. Okay, so for this purpose, you will have 15 minutes. Okay, come on, the time starts now. Yes, as Matthias is saying in the chat window, the aim of this second time slot is that you provide ideas, but also that you read the ideas provided by others so that you can comment on them, you can add on them, and you can work on them. And if you are interested in working further in those ideas, please add your names, your contact. Okay. Ten minutes left. Okay, I'm showing you again how I would like you to add your comments. As you can see in this little sticker in the upper right corner, the first idea is from Tecnalia, and then the second, the additions, one of them comes, for example, from TNO and the other one from European Commission. And both of them have put the names of their organizations and then their comments, okay? So that's the way. Okay, I can see that you are already doing this work. I'm seeing some examples in the work. Okay, this is fine, very good. Also in the business innovation area. Okay, very good. You have also added some new ideas. But as far as I can see, you are also commenting ideas from others. Yes, Katja, this exercise will be possible until Friday, of course. The tool will be open till Friday. So you will be able to access to the tool with the link, with the same link we are using today, and add everything you want. Please be careful not removing ideas from others, okay? Because it's possible, but please don't do it. Just add questions, add your comments, your additions, okay? Or your interests.
Sandro Delia from the European Commission speaking now. I want to say that, of course, I see a lot of good ideas in this idea board. Of course, after the end of this workshop, we will have to prioritize and to try to support some of them. So we will look at those which have most votes. What I suggest is that you look at the top scoring, let's say, ideas, you add your comments, trying to make them concrete, because now the problem will be how to do concretely something, to add the details on how the things can be actually implemented so that we can follow up easier.
Thank you, Sandro. That's a good point, yeah. It's important that the ideas are concrete enough, detailed enough, because otherwise they will be very generic. Well, 5 minutes left. We have a similar number of ideas in the business continuity support section and in the business innovation support section, in both sections. About 40 ideas in each of them. Three minutes left. I can see that you are also voting. I didn't tell you anything about voting because we were not going to use it because it's difficult to control voting with this tool. But anyway, votings are welcome too, okay? Thank you. One minute left. Well, the time is over, so let's finish with this part of the brainstorming. The brainstorming for the first part, the SMEs part, is over, and now I'm going to take the control for the conclusions to Sandro. Sandro, please, can you take control?
Yes, thank you very much. I remind you that you have to go to the next slide. So, well, I think you can go now to the next slide. Well, I have to tell you what the European Commission wants to do about this. And the message is just one, is very clear and very simple. Try to get good ideas, practical ideas that can be implemented, and we will find a way to support them financially. So the European Commission obviously wants to support any urgent action that can fight this crisis, both from a health care and from an economic point of view. If you are a digital innovation hub and you are funded by the European Commission, you should consider that you can perform activities also which are not in the original description of action, as long as they are broadly within the scope of the project and linked to the original aims. So if you are working, I don't know, on space technology, probably you cannot do much in this case because legally it would be quite difficult to justify this kind of change. But since most of our projects are to support SME in one way or another, or the public sector, I mean, it's very likely that this can be done. So think about good things to do, discuss with the project officer, and we will find a way to support it. To do this, we of course can change the activities of either of the consortium partners, so the things that are done in the consortium, or for all the projects who manage financial support to third parties, this can be done by changing the description of the financial support to third parties. So instead of giving money to finance experiments in one specific sector, we will use a different sector, which is related to the COVID-19 crisis. Can you go to the next slide, please? Xavier, are you hearing me? Yes, okay. Now, in practical terms, so if you are a digital innovation hub and you are supported by some Horizon 2020 project, what do you have to do? You have a brilliant idea, maybe the one you wrote here. You first of all discuss with your project officer. If the actions that you have in mind have nothing to do with what was the original aim of the project, okay, sorry, this cannot be done. In case they can be done, you check with the project officer the amendment needed to the description of action, because that is the formal document that regulates, let's say, the contract between you and the Commission. You may have some feedback and improve it and so on. After that, the project officer, you will have to submit the grant amendment when the project officer agrees, and we will do all the necessary steps to have the internal approval. When the grant amendment is recorded in the participant portal, then it's legal. You can do whatever you want. So this is the nitty-gritty detail of what you have to do from an administrative point of view. I want just to tell you a bit at a higher level, what is the key message? We are trying to do internally whatever can be done to fight this crisis. For example, the DG Regio, who is handling the regional funds, is hunting for the leftovers. And when they talk about leftovers, they talk about a lot of money. So all the money that has not been spent in their program, to redirect this to the fight of the effect of the crisis. The same we are doing in Horizon 2020. So we are seeing all the money that could not be spent for one reason or the other, and we are redirecting this. Consider also that we will need to identify good ideas to implement, to make it practical, and also to sell it. sell the idea. What do I mean? I mean that you need to have something that can be communicated outside of the of this environment to people in SME, people who really have to be the beneficiaries of these actions. We have to make it simple, make it easy to access, and so on. So make an effort now and in the coming hours, days, on your ideas to make them concrete, practical, and actually, easy to implement. Because the key message is this: do whatever you can. The European Commission will do our part to support the staff financially, and we will see how to do it. That's all from my side. I don't have anything else to add. I suppose that the message is clear. There is one thing which is also important. If you have a good idea, if you know how to do it, then you should commit clearly to executing it. So if you have the means, the resources in your project, in your hub, in your organization to do something, make a clear commitment of how much you will invest, how much time you have available, the resources that you have to put on this, because we have to be very concrete in this moment. It's not time to do, high-level strategy. It's the time to do very concrete actions. And with this, it's over from my side. You are welcome to ask questions on the chat if necessary. Xavier, it's up to you.
Okay, thank you, Sandro. Well, now I would like to give the floor to Lucy from Funding Bugs, who will explain how to work together with a platform, with the Digital Innovation Hub platform on the web. Okay, as I told you before, you will have available the tool, the link to the tool till Friday afternoon, so that you can go on providing ideas or commenting ideas or seeing who is interested in working on ideas. Interested means that you commit to work on them. Okay, so thank you. Come on, Lucy.
Yeah, can you share the screen, Javier, where the slides
I was sharing it, but I have lost control.
Okay. So the link to the community has been shared already several times on this chat. I will send you here again the tutorial that you can use to join the community. And then, yes, you can also go on the dihnet.eu website and click on community, and then you will be brought to the page to join the community. And then, can you go on the next slide, Javier?
Yeah, Lucy, can you see it?
Yeah, can you go on the next slide? Yeah, exactly. So then once you're on the community, you will see on the left side the list of all the community spaces. And the first one that you see here is how can DIH help in times of COVID? So this will be the specific space that we have created to follow up on this webinar. So first of all, we will post the recording of the webinar here. And also, as you will see, if you join and go and check it, we will have different discussion rooms for each idea. So they are now blank. They are just written idea 1, idea 2, etc. But once we have the idea boards clarified with all your ideas, we will post them here. And for each idea, you can discuss and collaborate between each other and discuss the next steps that you would like to implement to bring to life those ideas.
Okay, thank you, Lucy. I think it's time to give control to Andrea and start with the second part of this webinar, the part corresponding to public sector. Okay, so Andrea, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm trying to share my screen. I hope it's gonna work. Is it shared now? Can somebody just mention if it works?
No, it's not working yet.
Yeah.
Not yet? Okay. Is it coming up?
No, it's not.
Not yet.
Yes, it's now.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Now, yes.
Okay, so good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining in. So many of you are online. What we will do in the second hour is very similar to what we've done in the first hour. So let me just quickly walk you through the agenda. After a first couple of slides to set the context, Javier will just again explain how the idea board works, because some of you may have just joined for the second hour. And we will also, like in the previous part, start brainstorming about the actual needs of public sector organizations, and then brainstorm about the kind of tools and solutions, digital solutions that could help them overcome the crisis. We have foreseen a possible grouping of the ideas, but we were not expecting that so many of you would join, and we see that will not be possible today. You know that we will keep the brainstorming open until Friday, and we will do that afterwards. We will, however, close the meeting with some conclusions and some list of already existing EU reusable tools that you may want to get also inspiration from or actually use it in your service offerings. And then, of course, you will see the link to the space where all this discussion will continue. So the context is certainly similar to what we have heard earlier, but what we also saw, and that's why we thought it was there was an urgency to actually act, is that really it's a lot of the cities, the local administrations, local health services, civil protection services that are at the forefront of managing the crisis. And we really felt that certainly there's so much digital can do, but there's probably something we can all do together. We've seen over the last couple of days quite a number of initiatives. We've just listed a few here, mostly in forms of hackathons. So, for example, the Estonian hackathon, there was one in Germany, in Finland. Italy has just recently launched a call for ideas, Innova per l'Italia, and also some more global ones, Cities for Health or United Against COVID-19, whereby if you look at the links, there's already quite a lot of ideas there, how to help in such moments. What we thought, however, is that, yes, we give this challenge to you, the hubs, Living Labs, City Labs, all other organizations that are out there knowing the situation on the ground, but also at the same time having access to the necessary tools, solutions, or the capacity or even the skills to be able to help out. So we wanted to see what kind of ideas we can jointly gather, but also how we can demonstrate that actually it's not just individual hubs, but essentially the collaboration between the hubs, the possibility that we have this community and EU-wide network where we can share and perhaps jointly develop or implement solutions together. So the objectives of the webinar, as previously mentioned in the first hour, is to generate ideas and inspire hubs that also looking for solutions to provide to their public sector customers. The first hour focused specifically on how hubs could help SMEs overcome the crisis. The second hour will focus on how to help public administrations at all levels, local, regional, national levels, but also public sector organizations, civil protection agencies, public health organizations, and so on. You know that it's being recorded, and you will have the possibility until the end of the week to complement your ideas, to actually mention which ideas you're interested in, or essentially take the lead on some ideas to further develop it together with other hubs. What we thought to actually gather the ideas in 4 groups. So we will start by, again, the needs like we've done earlier. And then for the public sector organizations, we thought to group the ideas around 3 topics. We'll try to manage them simultaneously on solutions that are more reactive. So what are the kind of immediate digital solutions that can support the public sector organizations to respond to this situation, to protect citizens and prevent the spreading? Then what are the kind of more medium-term solutions to be really proactive and essentially help recover, but eventually rebuild and build a resistance for these public sector organizations to avoid future crises? But then also we're letting a place to submit any kind of ideas, anything else, or essentially also new ideas that would need further development. But it's a brainstorming session, so all ideas are good. Once again, the scope is that ideas for capacity building of the administrations, but also to better serve citizens and businesses in this case. Try to describe your offering. What is it that we're trying to do, and be as detailed as possible. If not today, then later during the week. And if you see that similar ideas come in, try to complement those. Don't start a new post-it. And essentially, if you're ready to take a lead or want to work with other hubs, please do so. So for that, you will need to mention your contact details so that later on you can be contacted. I would like to give the floor over now to Javier to remind us again how the idea board works.
Hi again. I'm afraid that I'm going to say the same things I said before. So the first thing I'm going to do is to share the new link to the tool, because we are going to use another virtual board in this case. So in this very moment, I'm sharing the link to the new virtual board in the chat window. Okay. So I guess everyone will be able to read it. Okay, and click on it. Okay. Again, if you click on it, you will find a virtual board like the following one you can see here. It's divided into 4 areas corresponding to the 4 areas that Andrea has commented before. The first one is about public sector needs, and then digital solutions in reactive support, in proactive support, and other solutions. Okay, so as I told you before, we are going to start with DIHs serving the public sector, with the first sector. And as I told you before, it's very easy to add a new idea, just clicking on the plus icon. And important, add your name, please, before writing your idea, so that we can track who has provided the idea, okay? And if you want to edit the idea, click on the idea, and then you can add information to it, you can change it, and you can even remove it, okay, with this trust icon. The system will ask for confirmation in the case you want to remove an idea, okay? And again, we will have 5 minutes, less minutes that we have had before for the public sector needs, and then a time slot of 30 minutes. And we will divide it into times to try to address the different areas of digital tools for reactive support, digital tools for proactive support, or other digital tools, other questions, okay, other ideas. So again, I will be controlling the time. Again, please keep your microphones muted. If you have questions, please try to write them on the chat window. And again, I will put on some music. It's Mozart. I'm sorry if not everyone likes Mozart, but anyway, it's an inspiring music, I think. Okay, so as I have said before, the way to add ideas is writing first the name of your organizations into parentheses, and then add your idea. Okay, I will give you more guidelines as we are going on. Okay, so now you have 5 minutes.
And have you just just very quickly, the links that the links that you're putting into chat, will these links also be available afterwards on the DIHnet website?
Yeah, this link will be available, yes, in DIHnet platform, but also if you it's the same link I'm sharing with you now. So I think you can store it because it will be available till Friday. Okay. So let's go. What if we start brainstorming on the public sector needs? For that purpose, please go to the idea boards tool and to the first section. Navigate. Sorry.
No, thank you, Javier. Just perhaps to introduce here, please be creative. I mean, you are on the ground. You have been in touch with administrations, cities, hospitals. So you must know what is the really immediate needs. What is it that they're facing? What kind of challenges they're facing? How to help their business continuity, but also their democratic continuity. I think we're hearing issues around that, how to make that happen, but also how to respond to the situation, what kind of citizen protection issues they're facing, and how to actually prevent the spreading. So, but be creative. We're just curious to hear what is the current situation, what are the real needs. So please go ahead and start sharing your ideas.
Okay, the time is running, and I can see that some people are already providing ideas, okay? Two minutes left. One minute left. Well, the time is over. So let's go to the second part of the brainstorming. This is the one related to solutions. Okay, Andrea, would you like to add something about this second part? Okay, do you want me to go to the next slide?
Yes, please. So thank you very much for the very creative ideas. And I would actually like to ask my my colleague, Babis Sitlakidis, to walk us through the slides to actually have a better understanding on what kind of solutions we're thinking about in terms of helping the resilience, the responsiveness of public sector organizations. So Babis, can you please walk us through your slides?
Yes, thanks a lot, Andrea. And I would like to say good morning to everyone. And I would like, of course, to thank all of you for being here with us today. But since time is limited, I will start right away by providing you some context, relevant context for this session. So this session is about digital tools or solutions or ideas that could help public sector organizations and entities in becoming more resilient. So particularly, this is very important, particularly during times like this. And it's about how we can increase the preparedness level of the public sector to respond to acute shocks like this COVID-19 outbreak, but also how we can help these organizations to be able to efficiently tackle relevant challenges and chronic stresses in their ecosystems. So some open questions that can help you in brainstorming are about, for example, how we can identify or develop a portfolio of digital or usable solutions and activities so that we can increase the resiliency of our public sector systems for the specific purpose, or what could be the specific actions that we should take in order to be ready to respond effectively and achieve a fast recovery from this crisis. But again, how we can also be well prepared for a similar situation in the near future, and how we can use the hubs in order to address challenges at the different governance levels and ensure a proper coordination. So to also structure a bit the whole process, as you've already seen in the ideas board, we have 3 specific topics now. One on digital solutions for reactive support, another one for proactive support, digital solutions for proactive support, and the third one for other ideas or solutions that they don't necessarily fall under these 2 categories, but also for new ideas to be brainstormed. So I will try to also walk you through very quickly in these 3 topics, so to provide you with a bit more context. Starting with the reactive support, the digital solutions for the reactive support topic. So there you can think of activities in the areas of smart work and digitally enabled administrative procedures in order to achieve disease containment and to prepare and successfully implement mitigation strategies and contingency plans, while taking into account appropriate cybersecurity measures with a focus on vulnerable groups, and of course with objectives like to increase the capacity for hospitals and civil protection organizations. This is not an exhaustive list, so we're trying to try to focus a bit in these areas, but again, this is a brainstorming session, so feel free to come up with any new ideas that you have. And in the right side of the slide, you can see some examples of solutions, digital solutions. So for example, digital solutions for collaboration and communication, simulations that and AI-powered efficient decision-making and crisis management solutions, the streamlining of relevant processes. So these are just, let's say, food for thought, and we are counting on you in order to give us more and more ideas. Then if we go to the proactive support side, in this topic, we are aiming for digital solutions that can support public sector organizations so that they can recover and build resilience to avoid future crises. So there we have digital solutions for capacity building or the raising of situational awareness, or how we can create early warning systems. And again, on the right side of the slide, you have some examples of digital solutions that could be referenced. but again, try also to be creative and provide us with your ideas or existing or planned solutions that you have and are relevant for these areas. And finally, we have the last one, the last topic area. This is about other kind of ideas, other kind of solutions, and new ones. So how we can use them in order to innovate digitally and develop new digital solutions with a lot of tools and state-of-the-art solutions and approaches. And there, as you can see, there is no examples provided by us because this is an area that is free, up to you to decide what you can put in it. So I think with this, we are ready to start the brainstorming session. So please provide us with your ideas, comments, and your interest, perhaps to join an idea that was what was put there by another participant. And with this, I would like now to hand over to Xavier to manage the brainstorming session. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, okay, thank you. We have about half an hour now, and we are going to work the 3 topics in parallel as we have done before with the 2 topics at the SME section. So my suggestion is the following. We will have 3 time slots. The first one will be a bit smaller than the 2 following ones. And I will devote the first one to one of the topics, and then the first time slot to one of the topics, and then the second time slot to another topic, and the third topic, or sorry, the third time slot to the third topic. Okay, but that's just again a suggestion. In the first time slot, you will be provide ideas in whatever topic you want. Okay. I can see that you have already done some homework and you are already providing ideas in this area. So let's start working on it. And from now on, we have about between 5 and 8 minutes to provide ideas on these topics, okay? When the time is over, I will tell you to change to another topic, and I will give you additional guidelines, okay? Come on then. Again, I will put some music. 2 minutes left. One minute left. Okay, time is over for the first time slot. So let's go to the second time slot. In this second time slot, it's quite important, and also the third one, because we will change from one topic to another. And when we go there, we will read first which are the ideas that have been already provided by others. As I can see in the idea boards board, the most ideas correspond to the digital solutions, the reactive part, maybe because it was the first one, okay? So my suggestion is now navigate to another section. First, read all the ideas that have been provided in that section and work on them. Or if you don't see that any of the ideas that you would like to provide are already included, please, sorry, I'm going to get up, as you say, sorry. And if you see that your idea is not included, then add it. Otherwise, please try to comment on others' ideas, okay? Thank you. Let's start then with the second time slot, about 10 to 12 minutes, okay? Come on then. Okay, 5 minutes left. Okay, 1 minute left. Well, the time is over, so let's go to the third time slot. In this case, as I said before, please, I suggest you to go through the next section, to the section you haven't addressed yet, and try to work on it. Again, read what others have already provided there, and try to add on those ideas. Okay, to add an idea, please add your name, add the name of your organization, and then the addition you want to do. Okay, and also, if you are interested, truly interested in an idea, please add your name, your contact details to work further on it. Okay, anyway, you will have the possibility to do this till next Friday afternoon. Okay, let's go again with the third time slot. We have about 7 minutes. And as far as I can see, I see that there are a lot of ideas for digital solutions on the reactive support area. 2 minutes left. Okay, time is over, so let's go on. First of all,
Okay.
thank you very. Okay, sorry. Is it you, Andrea?
That's fine. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I was going to say that you have done a huge work today, and thank you very much for your collaboration. As I said before, the link to the tool will be open till Friday afternoon, so you will be able to go on adding ideas and comments and interest in working on ideas. And now I'm going to give the floor to Andrea for the conclusions. Okay, Andrea? Andrea, so we are
Interesting and very. Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So I also wanted to say thank you to everyone, because it's been a new experience, but very powerful to bring all this experience and knowledge together. So to conclude, I'd like to give the floor back to Babis, who can also give you a set of, certainly not comprehensive, but a list of EU tools for reuse that you may want to also explore when starting to develop or start looking into concrete solutions that you should be aware of. Babis, you want to go through the slide?
Yes, thank you, Andrea. And I would like also to thank all participants for their contribution. It was very nice to see so many ideas there in the board. So very quickly, let me give you this brief overview of relevant EU initiatives that you can use in order to move forward with your ideas and plans without having to reinvent the wheel. So I will start with a project called Escalate for Cove. It's a new Horizon 2020 project that aims at using the Union's supercomputing resources and capacity in order to counter international pandemics faster and more efficiently, and with a specific focus on research for COVID-19. So this is a new and very promising project. I would like also to invite you to have a look at the family of solutions and projects under our CEF program, like the CEF eHealth DSI, the CEF eHealth Digital Service Infrastructure, which is an EU-wide project for cross-border health data exchange, but also to have a look at the group of CEF building blocks, which are there to provide reusable solutions and services that can be reused in any European project in order to facilitate the delivery of digital public services across borders and sectors. And there we have a number of building blocks like the context broker, the big data test infrastructure, which is they are about data for policy making, the group of trusted digital transactions building blocks like EID, e-signature, and e-delivery, and of course the e-translation building block, which provides machine translation to 24 languages. Now, in the area of the European Data Portal, there is a new dedicated section on open data and applications regarding COVID-19, which is also a very important development. And there is a lot of important and very interesting ongoing work in the area of interoperable standard-based urban digital platforms, where you can find a commonly agreed list of standards and technical specifications in order to achieve interoperability of data, systems, and platforms among cities and communities, but also with suppliers all around the world. And we even have an established innovation lab by Europol to help law enforcement officials in order to monitor new technological developments and drive innovation, and many, many other resources that we would like to ask you to visit, and the web pages. And of course, these presentations will become available after the webinar, so you have the time to have a deeper look in all these activities and many more. So before giving the floor back to Andrea, who's going to walk you through the next steps and the follow-up of the webinar, I would like once more to thank you for your participation and for being such an active and creative audience. Thank you very much. And back to you, Andrea.
Thank you. You will see the publication, when we publish the slides, you will also find these links to these reusable tools. And as you will recall, we had planned to do a physical meeting on the 18th of March with the community. And this is kind of the overview of those tools that we wanted to show you in an info point, let's say, open space session. So we started developing also an online version of that. And you will see the link on the previous slide to that. And hopefully when we manage to meet in person, you will also be able to physically meet the people who are behind those tools. So in terms of the next steps, you've heard it several times today, but just to recap, this session has been recorded, and the recording as well as the slides will be published online in the DNet community platform, and you as well as others will have the possibility to complement the ideas until the end of the week, until Friday this week, and also to indicate your interest as well as your potential interest to take a lead on one or the other action. We will then work early next week to summarize all this brainstorming and try to come up with a structured summary of it, but certainly further discussion can continue on this community platform. And since we don't know when next physical meetings can take place, we have foreseen a next webinar specifically on how digital innovation hubs can help the transition towards smart cities, which is going to take place on the 30th of April between 11 and 12:30, and we will be sharing with you more details on that in the coming days. So I would now like to ask Lucy, who has been moderating the community platform, to walk us through on how we will continue working together online.
Yeah, thank you, Andrea. Yeah, I just posted again the tutorial on the chat to how to join the community. And can we go to the next slide? Yes, so you have to go to the dihnet.eu website, and then you will find a button called community. You click on it and you will be sent to the next pages that will allow you to create your profile and join. And next slide. Once you are a member of the community, once you are in, you will see on the left side of the screen of the community all the community spaces. And there is one space that is called How Can DIHs Help in Time of COVID-19? So this is a specific space that has been created to follow up on this webinar. So the recording of the webinar will be posted there, as well as the slides will be posted there. And also, once we have a clearer idea of all the ideas that were posted on the idea boards, we will open different discussion rooms there. So they're already open, but right now they're blank. So everyone that was interested in working together can go there and comment on each idea and prepare the next steps together to bring those ideas to concrete actions.
Okay,
well,
and
thank you
like
very much.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Javier.
I wanted to add that the first step will be working on idea boards till Friday, and then on the platform. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And I just wanted to say once again, a big thank you to all of you, to those, to DNet helping us run the event, but also to all of you. We had at one point over 200 participants, and this is a powerful way to bring together all this knowledge. And we wanted to thank you once again for your time, for your ideas, and we hope to continue this discussion also on the community platform. Thanks a lot, and keep safe, and speak to you soon.
Okay, thank you very much, Andrea.